creating your business into a turnkey operation. I've been excited about this topic because this is the key to give you efficiency in your business and increase profitability. So how do you do that? So you may say, Esther, listen, I'm a supermarket, or I'm a mechanic, or I am a law firm, or the different types of businesses. Every business has a way to create processes in place, certain structures that are followed by your staff. There are 4 key elements in your business when you start. You have your customer, your employee, your supplier, right? Like I'm in the insurance business, my supplier is an insurance carrier that I have to meet certain goals with. And for those that have loans, your lender, how do you comply with them? So it's interesting because your employee and your customer kind of needs the same thing. There are 2 things that they want. They want to be acknowledged and they want to feel accomplished. The employee wants to make sure that what they're doing is proper and efficient for the business, is productive. They feel productive when they do that. Acknowledged and accomplished. The customer wants the same thing. The customer wants to be acknowledged in their needs, that you're listening to what their needs are, and that you have what they're looking for. And they want to feel that when they do business with you, it's accomplished, it's completed. So, with that in mind, you have to create a process that creates value to that client, that makes them feel, not only for your staff, but also for that customer, that makes them feel like they did business with someone that cared about them. So how do you do that? Okay. First, by creating steps. Look at your business as a map. Sit back and write down what are the repetitive behaviors that need to be done every day in your business. So example, do you need a receptionist? Somebody answering the phone? Do you need somebody in accounting? Marketing? There's all of those departments that you have to get that job done. Pretend that you're the customer coming into your business, looking for that product or service, or even church. These rules are the same. So when the person comes in, what is the process of how they're going to be handled? How do you complete that cycle of business? From the customer walking in to getting service, whether it's a sale product or customer service or an issue being handled, or if you're a church, how does when a new visitor comes in? What's the process of welcoming that visitor? Do you have an orientation of what the church is about? Same thing in a regular store. So what's going to be your format of receiving a client? Now I understand some of you may be too large, like a McCaffrey's, here in Princeton. They're not sitting outside welcoming everyone. But they have everything clear so that the customer can navigate through the stores. And they don't have to be saying hello to every single person, except when they go to the cashier, right? But now if you go to Ann Taylor's and smaller storefronts, they have a welcoming person to greet you and offer you their services and their expertise. And then you have to decide, well, how many times are we going to ask that customer for their, if they need help? So little steps like that. How you're going to answer the phone? How you're going to track that client? Is it being taken care of? What department is it going to? Are you going to divide your business into different departments so that the customer can navigate and doesn't feel, you've ever been to a business and you feel like you're working with them because they don't have nothing organized or anything organized? It's very important that you create steps for each of your department and know what are the steps to follow so that your employee also feels like they're getting their job done. I remember in the very beginning when I had all the hats, I did everything, but it wasn't until 2007 or 2008 that I created a more efficient process. Yes, I had steps of how to get things done and how you file and go to the bank and finish a contract, etc., etc. It was all great, but it wasn't as efficient as it is today. And 2 years from now, it'll be more efficient. You're always tweaking. Don't think that you do it at once and it's done. It's always going to look for a way of improvement. You have to have consistent order. That when the customer comes in, they know, okay, this is the customer service department, this is the sales department, or when they're going into your store, that you have your produce in a certain way, right? If you're going to a grocery store, if you're going to a mechanic, you know where to go, the oil change versus a tire change, etc., etc. You have to break it down so when the customer comes in, they don't feel like they're working a puzzle. They can really figure it out because it's nice and clear. And that's creating processes. Also, the clients and staff need steps that are predictable. When you are doing your steps, you shouldn't need a PhD. You have to make it simple. Yes, some of you might be in the science world or a doctor, and you may need a PhD to what you do, but the administration shouldn't have to have a PhD to work there. So make the steps simple, stupid, simple, predictable. Step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, and don't make it 10, 15, 20 steps. Make it as small as possible to get you so that cycle of business gets completed, and you know it gets completed if that employee follows the steps. Decide what's going to be the culture. Are you going to be very formal with suits and not too smiling? Are you going to be very warm and family style? What's going to be the culture in your business? What's going to be the facility code? Are you going to be dressed down, dressed up? Is it going to be a combination of both? Those things are important. Are you going to, like Abercrombie, right? You go to that store and it smells so good, and it's always the same smell, right? They have the same layouts in every single store, and they also have the same aroma. So when you walk by, you know that you passed by Abercrombie. So what's going to be your look? You know, is your restaurant going to have, what kind of, is it going to smell a lot like food? Is it going to be smell less like food? Do people want to have, they can smell the food, but they don't want the clothes to smell like food, etc. You need to be that granular when you're thinking about building the processes for your business. Create the process that guarantees a customer's expectation. You know, if a customer is coming here to get insurance, right? They should be able to get the insurance. And if we're not able to service them, the no list should come up real quick. These are the qualifications, these are the questions. Oh, I'm sorry, we don't offer that. Don't have a customer come and call you a whole bunch of times and you're not returning the call because you really don't do that service. Just be very efficient. Say it quickly. Yes, we do this. No, we don't do this. We don't do it. We don't provide it. Also, create discipline, standardizations, and code. Next week we'll continue in getting more detail in this. But create a map. The goal today is to create a map for your business. If you've been running the business by yourself, you should know. How do you answer the phone? What's the follow-up system? Is it a sales procedure? What's the management? Is it a management issue? Is it a customer service? Is it accounting? Is it a marketing? You need to divide your business into all those little departments and create each step for each department. So I often talk about the E-Myth, and I have a lot of books that I do read, and I wanted to show you, this is the next book after you read the E-Myth. Jim Collins. Phenomenal. From Good to Great. Gives you a lot of ideas on how to create a business and shows you studies on why it's important to create processes in your business and build to last. The business that you create today is supposed to run without you. You don't live to work. You work to live. My name is Esther Tanez, and if you liked it, please hit like, share, and don't forget to follow us on YouTube. Have a fantastic day.